Well, TLC was last night, and it was actually a really good card. I mean, we were having a few people on Skype for during the pay per view because they found like a good stream and they're like, well, we're watching the same one, so like, why not just put our spin on commentary and shit on there? Didn't record it though. That would have been funny though if it was, but um, just the pay per view in general was decent in my book. I mean, it had a lot of good finishes. It had a lot of good things for the match. I mean, especially because like we were making up made up characters and shit for the match. Like some guy was like, I don't even remember. It was just one of those days, man. But the matches were, I've already said this, but I mean the matches were pretty good by themselves. But just when you actually saw them, some of them were better than you thought. Some of them were kind of what you thought they would be, and there was a few surprises in there that weren't even on the card originally. We'll get to that a little bit later. And I don't know why, but Ryan made a freaking awesome review thingy. Like, just results and coverage of the whole damn thing. And I might use some of that, and if he's pissed off about that, I don't really care. And he actually does a pretty good opening thing here. It says the show opens with a video that explains that TLC is the most dangerous pay-per-view of the year, which is bullshit. And we all know Elimination Chamber is more dangerous because anything can happen in a fucking chamber. The show's presented to you by the fucking video game. Pyro goes off, you know, just the pyro, like every fucking show does. And the theme, yeah, he does a really good job doing this, to be honest. The first match was Intercontinental title match was with Dolph Ziggler with Vicky Guerrero versus Kofi Kingston versus Zack Swagger. Now, originally, I just thought this was bullshit because Vicky Guerrero's out there and no Swagger Eagle. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, maybe the Swagger Eagle couldn't get to fucking Houston in time? Or something, I don't know. Or maybe they killed off the Eagle character? Or something? All I know is there was no fucking Eagle and I was sad when that happened. I'm sorry. I love the fucking Swagger Eagle. I just do. It's funny as hell. Especially after the Hornswoggle Eagle match. Yeah, that was funny. But there were also a lot of injuries, which we'll get to in a little bit during this matchup. The first of the ring, he even had the... Ryan, you kind of fucked up. You had the entrance wrong. It was Kofi Kingston, then Swagger, then Ziggler. You did it the complete opposite way. Idiot. But yeah, the bell rings, match begins, blah, blah, blah. And this is a triple threat ladder match, by the way. Which he didn't put in there. But it's a triple threat ladder match, so basically the first one to grab the belt wins. And during the match, Swagger fucked up his wrist or something, so the trainer during the match, and this is very rare, you rarely see the trainer come out during a match. Which the trainer did come out during the matchup, and he had to tape Swagger's wrist again or something, which he already had fucking wrist tape on, so he just had to reapply it or something. And it's harder just to do that with one arm. But think about if you had your leg hurt or something, like happened in another match, but we'll get to that later. But, yeah, try climbing a ladder with one arm and see what happens. It's really hard, especially if that arm is injured or something, or that hand in general, because you can't use the whole fucking arm anymore, because if you use it, the grip shit. But, I mean, there were so many good spots in this match. Like, for example, Kofi and Swagger are able to go to the outside. Swagger heads to the ringside, and the ladder is slammed into the wrist. And they focused on that wrist a lot during that match after the injury happened. And at one point, Vicky tries to climb the fucking ladder. And we just thought the ladder was going to break on her or something. But, then Kofi tries to stand up on the ladder, just goes back down, and I'm like, Kofi, what the fuck are you doing? And then Kofi tilts the ladder, so Vicky's about to fall off. And Ziggler comes in and pleads with Kofi not to fucking go off. And I haven't seen one of these finishes since an X Division match. An X Division Ultimate X match or something like that. Kofi and Swagger both grip the belt, and the belt drops. So, in that situation, for those who don't really know what would happen, the first one to grab the belt, if it dropped down without nobody, it just dropped out of their hands. So the first one to grab the belt would win. And what Ziggler did is the smartest fucking thing. I'm not a big fan of Ziggler, but I'll give him this. Ziggler, after the belt dropped, Ziggler rushed back in, grabs the belt off the mat, and he wins the match. That is one of the best fucking finishes for an opener I have ever seen in a long time. I am not fucking kidding. It was a great matchup, and honestly, it's worth watching the replay at the beginning just to see that one at the beginning. But, I mean, there's good matches overall, but still, that was amazing. And yeah, Ziggler retains. The next matchup was a Divas table match, which was the first ever. And if you think about it, this is WWE's response to the cage match, which was on Impact and, not Explosion, but Reaction a few weeks ago. And I just love the fucking pink table. It was funny as hell to see that fucking table. It had Lay Cool as witches or something. It was just great. And it's a special Lay Cool table, special artwork that made them look dark like witches, like I said before. Beth Phoenix, and they come out with their music and shit. And this, I didn't think it would be elimination or not. But the endings didn't really matter. And just, there's a bunch of bumps everywhere. I'm not going to lie. There's a few bumps that kind of made you worried for some of them. Like, for example, when Beth Phoenix fell out of the ring, at first we thought she fell on her head. But it was her neck. And we all know how bad neck injuries are in the business. So yeah, you gotta, plus she had a fucked up knee. And that probably didn't help either. And she just got out from that injury as well. It was just a big thud when you heard it. You could hear it from the camera people. It was just amazing how that happened. And we were eventually, at some point we were going to see like a Styles Clash or Faith Break or whatever the fuck you want to call it into a table, and like the tables moved or whatever. And then but it's weird. They had all kinds of different colors of tables. I don't really notice that kind of shit sometimes. But they were like totally all different colors. Not just because there's a fucking pink one, but there was like a nigger table. What I mean, like an all black table, and I shouldn't have said that, but I don't care because that's what we called it in the Skype chat. And then we had it was like a lighter regular table color thing, and then the pink fucking table. So there's a lot of diversity. And what we saw, a double sharpshooter on both members of Lay Cool. I have never seen a double sharpshooter in my life. And that looked pretty fucking cool. A double sharpshooter, and then how the match ended, just, a bunch of kicks and shit. Lay Cool attempts a double suplex on Natalya. But first off, before, a few minutes after, she tried the suplex finish, which is fucking impossible to do. And the double suplex on Natalya doesn't work. They toss Lay Cool into the pink table, and the pink table doesn't break. So Natalya dives on Lay Cool and breaks the table for the win. So Beth Phoenix and Natalya are your winners. And it didn't really matter if it was elimination or not, because they both went for the table, which I wanted to see. Thank you to WWE for fucking doing that. And, so the time doesn't, say it won't let me upload it and shit, because it might be like a 10-minute one, just because it's on the iPhone. If it's on a laptop, I could have done the whole 15-minute thing, which I should have done. But, we have another part. We have a lot of matches to go, and just do it anyway.